But the Car says this woman is a tad rusty in the Chrissy Hine brass in pockets attitude. Well, I'm just saying, she just realized, she's since done other videos where she has cleaned herself up and realizes that this look is not going to get it. Guys are not going to be. You want the top 10% guys to be falling all over you. This is not going to get it in the buyer's market. It's not. That's why the beauty appearance is so important, because this is not going to get it in a buyer's market. In a buyer's market, we're not wild animals. See, in a wild animal kingdom, lionesses, you don't see a lion going, that's a better looking lioness than that lioness. I think I'm going to just go be with that lioness instead of this lioness. Why? They don't have to do that because monogamy is not involved. Therefore, they don't need to separate between the women. His resources are going to be split between everybody. So you don't need those separators. But when you have monogamy as a social construct and everybody trying to groom you into monogamy, now you need a way to decide who is worth me investing all my time and effort into. That's where the beauty appearance comes into. Brother D, shout out to you, man. I ain't seen you in a while. That's very true, Brother Clarence. Any chick that denied me, I usually saw why years later God was protecting me. All of us, Brother D, we didn't see it at the time. I told y'all, man, the story about I was dating this girl, man. This girl used to dog me, man. Oh, man, this girl was dogging me. And she was always talking about her ex-boyfriend. And so she would tell me, oh, yeah, he left this jacket over here. She lived with her parents at the time. So she was what we both did. And so she was like, yeah, he left his jacket over here, and I got to give him his jacket. And so the next time I talked to her, she'd be like, yeah, he came over and got his jacket. And then the next time I talked to her, yeah, he came over and got this. He was always stopped coming over her house. Now, me personally, I couldn't even go in her house. I could go to her house and pick her up, but I couldn't go in her house. This dude was all up in her house, right? So I was like, that was the first red flag. I said, that's because we're supposed to be in a relationship, quote unquote, right? But you 16, 17. That's not no relation. You don't really know what you're doing. But I was saying to myself, this is crazy, right? Anyway, so this would let me know I was in a bad situation. I was in a horrible situation and didn't even know it, brother, at the time. I had to reflect back on it. So this same chick, man, got invited to a block party, right? So she said, hey, why don't you go with me to this block party? I said, okay. And so we knew a lot of the same people, you know what I mean? We went to different high schools, but we knew a lot of the same people because it's the same neighborhood. So anyway, I go over there and I met her there. And so the girls are making plates for dudes that they invited over there, right? Okay, this girl that I was going out with, she didn't make nothing for me. She was making herself a plate. And so the mother, the girl that was actually having the party, the mother said to her, are you gonna make him a plate? She said, no. I'm not gonna make him no plate. She said, I'm making this plate for me. And so the mother looked at me like, you in trouble. Remember Sweet Daddy on Sweet Daddy on Good Times? JJ, you in trouble, right? That's how she looked at me, right? And it turned out that, man, it was bad, man. She used to just dog me, man. So I had gotten sick. Man, about a couple weeks later, man. And I would be calling her. She would never call me. I would always call her, right? She would let a week go by and not even call me, right? So I'll be like, man, what's going on with her? So I got sick. And I was definitely ill with strep throat, man. I was ill. And so my father took me to the hospital, man. I was in the hospital for a while. And then I came, I came home and, I was down for about 3 weeks. No school, no work and nothing. So anyway, this chick never called me, never checked on me or nothing, right? So then she calls me and says, after 3 weeks out the blue, she says, hey, I got tickets to the Sadie Hawkins dance. She was going to it. She was still in high school. I was like a year out ahead of her. So she was like, I got tickets to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I said, oh, okay. I said, but I can't make it. So you could probably go on. She go, what? What you mean you can't make it? So she went and did this big thing, right? Oh, you good? What you mean you can't make it? I spent this money on these Sadie Hawkins tickets, and I won't go. And I bought some new jeans, and then she went on and on and on. Right now, I'm not even a day out of the hospital. This chick hasn't checked on me at all. Nothing, right? So I had lost. I mean, I went from 160 pounds to like 98 pounds in like 3 weeks. I was just that sick. I was just that bad, right? None of my clothes fit. Nothing happened, right? So I went down to that weight, and instead of her, I kept telling her, I said, hey man, I am not well. I don't, I'm too sick to go. She said, you gotta go. I was like, so like a simp, I I put my clothes on. None of them fit right. I had to put the belt, and you know how you had to take some scissors and cut a whole another notch in the belt. I had to cut a notch way down in the belt just to keep the pants on, right? I had some corduroys. We talking about the 80s, brother. I had some corduroys. so I put the corduroys on, right? I put the little sweater on and the shirt or whatever, right? Go to the dance, and when she took one look at me and was, when I say disgusted, brother, she was disgusted. She was disgusted when she saw, because the last time she saw me, right, I was about 50 pounds, 60 pounds heavier, right? So when she saw me, she was like, oh my God. I was emaciated. I wasn't even eating solid food at that point, right? I think that dance was like, I got out of hospital, I got out of hospital, I think on a Thursday or something. The dance was on a Saturday. I think I wasn't even 2 or 3 days out of the hospital. And I tried to tell her, I can't even move. I can barely walk. I have, my muscles were all gone. Everything was gone. I had to build all that stuff back up, right? So anyway, I go to the dance. As soon as I walk through the door, man, she sees me. She is disgusted is not even a word. I would disgusted is a mild word for what she was when she saw me, man. So she saw me. She's like, what are you doing here? I said, you told me you had tick. I tried to tell you I was sick. You told me to come and you wanted me to be here. She said, man, just sit down right here. And I don't know if you guys ever saw a movie called Napoleon Dynamite, right? Remember in Napoleon Dynamite, he takes the girl to the dance, and they just leave him there. That's exactly what happened to me. She just left me there. Her and her friends just left me there, right? Yeah, the Sadie Hawkins dance, gosh, car. So they left me there, right? So I'm sitting there like, damn. I finally realized about maybe 11, 12 o'clock that they're gone. She's gone, right? I'm sitting there waiting for her to come back like a super simp. And finally it hit me. See, hey, Koshgard, this is before cell phones, BC, before cell phones, right? So you can't tell somebody, hey, if you don't talk to them, then they don't know what's going on, right? So I'm sitting there waiting on her like an idiot. I'm sitting at sitting in the chairs, waiting on her, at one of the tables or whatever. And she never shows up or whatever, right? And I let me show you how much of a super simp I was at the time, man. I was such a super simp, I didn't want to leave the table, right? I was like, no, she might come back. And if she don't see me here, then it's gonna be a problem. Shout out to the Simp Nation. Shout out to the Simp Nation. I used to be a card carrying member, so I ain't mad at nobody. So anyway, so I'm sitting at the table. I finally realized about 11, 12 o'clock, hey man, this chick is gone. She ain't around here no more. She left. So I leave. And I leave and I go home, man. And my father tried to talk me out of going and doing that anyway, because he could tell I was barely on my feet, right? But he said, okay. You got a hard head, okay. Let you find out for yourself. So anyway, so so about 2 weeks later, I'm waiting for her to call. I'm just getting better. I'm trying to get better. My muscles are coming back. I'm building my muscles back up, so I'm gaining weight. So I'm looking good. I'm getting better. I'm getting back on my feet, right? And so, but I'm still waiting on her to call me because she left me. Why am I calling you when you left me, right? So anyway, I mean, hey, Patrice, the story's not over. Hold on, wait. I'm getting to the good part. So anyway, I said, man, so I finally called her after 2 weeks, and I said, hey, I ain't heard from you in a couple of weeks. She like, yeah. I said, what's going on? And she said, well, nothing. All her answers to me was like one word, nothing. Okay, right? I said, hey, look, you know what? I don't want to press nobody. I mean, if you don't want to be in a relationship with me, just tell me that. She said, okay. I said, okay, what? I mean, do you or don't you want to be in a relationship? I mean, do you want to continue what we're doing or trying to do or not or what? What's going on? And she said, okay. And I said, okay. I said, okay, so you don't want to be in a relationship with me then? Is that what you're telling me? She said, okay. Oh man, I said, oh, okay, so you trying to tell me you don't want to be in a relationship with me? She said, I guess so. And then she hung up. Click. So me being in the Simp Army, I was like, well, let me call her right back because maybe she was just mad at me. But something in my head said, don't call. Don't call. Because this is actually for good. If she's willing to do you like this and she cutting you a loose, it's only gonna get worse from here. So I fought the simpness and didn't call her. I didn't call her. Now at the time she was nice and consistent. Nice and consistent. Not bad. I mean nothing to write home about, but definitely attractive sister. Um so I said, man, wow. So I just moved on with my life, right? Moved on with my life. Never saw her again for about maybe 30 years. Didn't see her for 30 years, right? You guys know I'm in the nation, right? So we had an event. I was from Compton, the Compton Mosque, and we had an event at the Long Beach Mosque. And so I was on my way to the Long Beach Mosque. And so I pull up into this gas station on my way to the Long Beach Mosque, and guess who I see in one of the stalls, one of the at one of the pumps across the way? It's her. But she's like 500 pounds. Ay ay ay. She's got this beat up, dented up car. And she had a look on her face like a Mack truck had hit her, right? And I was like, whoa. I was like, man, I would have been in that situation. Holy smokes. I would have been dealing with this person. Man, she did not look well at all. And you know what? Let me tell y'all. So I didn't want to embarrass the sister by, you know, letting her see me and then me striking up a conversation with her. That's how bad I felt about her. Even after she had dogged me all them years before, I didn't want to embarrass her because I could see how jacked up her life was. Just by her expression on her face, I could see how jacked up her life was. Her car was all beat up. And I think she had some baby seats in the back. I said, oh my God. So what I did was I waited. I waited till she pumped all her gas and got back in her car, shimmied back in there and squeezed herself back in there and drove off. I said, thank you, God. favor. Having that girl reject me, God did me a favor, man, because that girl she turned out to be not a hot mess, a scalding hot mess. She was a mess. Shout out to that sister wherever she's at today, man. Hopefully God is help her get her life back on straight, man. Holy smokes. But anyway, the point is, we've all been in the simp army. We've all been in the simp army, and I was using the same techniques, right? I was going to be so super nice to her that she would reward me with sex, right? That's the main focus. That's the main technique that the simp army uses is I'm gonna be this super nice guy, right? And some kind of way, this girl's gonna fall into my lap, right? And say, "Take me, I'm yours." But it doesn't usually work that way. It does not usually work that way. Shout out to the simp army. Shout out to the simp army. So I've got to ask y'all some questions, man.